Hello and welcome to episode 62 of your weekly your weekly, what is the name
Concealed
of the show?
Taco Dudes.
So I think that it's kind of sets the tone for the evening because we've got 3 zombies walking into the studio tonight.
I have been installing a new floor in the front room of my house all day. And I have a hallway still waiting for me to finish, but I'm beat.
And Taco has spent the entire last couple of days recreating.
Recreating, yeah. So I played.
In your rumpus room?
I played 3.5 hours of spike ball, like intense spike ball.
Huh.
We even had these almost 3. They're like 180 degree
That's
LED lights.
That's half of 360.
Yes. So it lights up all the way around, and so we had 4 guys with 4 each wearing one of those, and so we could see at
night.
night.
You wear on your head?
It's like a headlamp.
Oh,
but
okay, I gotcha.
It uses LED lights going in like a 180 degree.
Like a partial halo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it lights up everything, and we were able to play that game after the sun went down.
Wow.
Which was good and bad. I mean, bad because we ended up playing, 3.5 hours. And usually if I do spike ball like that, I'm not in my 30s anymore, so I usually can't walk the next day, but we planned a hike up at Bell Canyon, doing hike to a waterfall, yeah.
It's steep when you start, especially after spike ball.
Yeah, so we went to the first waterfall, and then we decided we still had energy, and we decided to go up to the next one. The hike from the first one to the second one is pretty crazy. Like no one goes up there. The trails are a little skinnier, and there's a lot more boulders and rocks you're climbing on to get up there.
What were you carrying while you were hiking?
My Scandium 357.
Cool.
It was funny though because we heard some animals in the bushes. Like there was something bigger. It was either like a deer or like an elk or something.
Cool.
But my wife said, what kind of protection do you have, Mike? Don't worry.
What was she carrying?
357. She wasn't carrying anything.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it would be nice if all adults who were in attendance had something so that if I got eaten first, they could maybe save me or something.
Right. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So the reason I'm a zombie is because I had my very first experience, and this might be way too much information for the podcast, but I was working up in southern Idaho this week, and I go there for 2 surgical cases, getting ready the next morning. I wake up at 3 in the morning with this incredibly sharp stabbing pain. I had my first ever experience with a kidney stone.
Oh!
So that's probably TMI for a podcast.
Kidney stones.
Yeah, so anyway,
You probably drink too much soda.
Yeah. I'm sitting here with my 44-ounce refill. But it was kind of interesting. So because I went to the hospital that I was going to be doing the cases at, and so I go rolling into the case at 8 in the morning wearing a patient wristband. Yeah. So I got extra points from the doctor for being the toughest rep in the world.
Awesome.
That's hardcore.
I thought you were going to say this was the first time you tried some of that white powder.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I brought some Diet Coke into the studio tonight, but I've forgotten that it came from the bottom of our pantry, and we had knocked a container of cornstarch off. And
sure.
Yeah. So, Taco looks over at me and says, "What? What have you been into?"
What have you been doing, Mark?
I was putting the cans in the refrigerator. Apparently, I wiped my nose, and I had white powder all around.
Yeah, like straight out of a movie, like cocaine all over his nose.
An 80s movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little bit wiped out today. But it was a good week. I did do off-body carry in the emergency room, though. I had a backpack.
Oh.
And I checked out of I basically left the hotel thinking I might not be back.
Oh.
So I had my backpack with scrubs and and stuff, and I had my SIG 365 and my mag holder in my backpack in the emergency room.
Nice.
Huh.
And they didn't. You know, I didn't want to leave it in the car, and they didn't.
They didn't
scream
open
me.
it.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't scream me. So
Yeah, interesting.
Cool.
That's what I did with guns.
Let's hit some sponsors real quick. NOEBulletMolds.com, the makers of some of the finest bullet molds around. And I'll talk about it later. But yeah, I had to bail out somebody in particular and fire up my casting pot and
Emergency
bullet casting. That's what I had to do. But I'll talk about that and what we did with guns. So NOEBulletMolds.com, they got awesome designs. Coupon code FLT001 will save you 10%, I believe.
Yeah.
Tackware.com. Use coupon code TACO10 to save you 10%.
Yep.
And they are the makers of titanium gadgets, gizmos, and EDC gear.
Yep.
Flashlights.
Tactical barbecue aprons.
Yep.
And whatnot. Good stuff. It's fun stuff.
The toothpick, we always
cool.
mention that, but the titanium toothpick, it stays on my keyring.
Yeah.
I always got something I can poke something with if I need to. But it's
if
great.
somebody gets too close to you in line,
just stab them. That thing is sharp.
it is.
And it's titanium,
It's
so it's
really
not just
sharp.
gonna
Right.
bend or break. So
Yeah.
It would take you a half hour to kill somebody with that thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not long enough to reach anything important.
yeah.
But they should
But you
be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh
be
yes. Okay, and blackicecoatings.com. They do some awesome gun coatings. Teflon coating, the Cerakoting,
Yep.
and the hydro dipping
dipping.
or
Yeah.
water transfer
Yeah.
prints.
And some really artistic stuff. They showed a couple things on Instagram last week that were really neat, like these distressed bronze things,
Yeah.
and they,
The battle worn stuff. Yeah.
These guys are real professionals. They're not hobbyists. This is a serious business.
Yeah, and they do, like we've mentioned before, they actually do work for some of the, gun manufacturers.
Yeah.
And I still want to get something done in that the little, was it snakeskin grip that he did for North American Arms?
Not the pig skulls.
Oh, I think that would be cool too, the pig skulls. But
Yeah.
Or not, maybe they weren't skulls. Maybe they were just pig faces.
I think it's pig faces.
Yeah.
But we'll do that.
I
one of these
actually
days.
talked to Lee this week. Well, we were texting. I'm trying to decide what I want to do on my FX. And so
Really?
Are you gonna do something on your air gun?
Yeah. I told him, okay, get this film. So I'm gonna have him dip the stock. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's questionable as to whether it's really gonna turn out good or not. Not that it won't turn out good. The job will be done well.
Does it look like
As if you have any
if I
taste.
have good taste or not.
my guess would be that it's like a blonde wig, like looks like a blonde wig.
Yeah, I agree.
Huh.
Yeah.
No.
No, not that.
Jeez.
No, we'll see. I told him what I wanted, and he questioned me. Really? You want? I went, well, yeah. Wait, let me look at it again. Hold on. So we'll see.
Yeah, so use coupon code SLICKERY when you talk to Lee
Yeah.
and see what it'll do for you.
Yep.
And if you have questions for him, shoot him an email.
Has John, the winner of the Black Ice package?
I think he's been in contact. He's got Lee's info.
Okay.
So
I'm really curious what he ends up doing, and hopefully I can see a picture of it.
yeah.
That was
he
the only
mentioned a few things that he was thinking about doing, and maybe some AR bolt carrier groups and Teflon and something else. I don't remember now.
I think that was the only prize package that we shipped like the next day and on time, right?
Well,
You just had to give him Lee's phone number.
yeah. It probably still wasn't very timely.
But yeah, I kind of want to do a lever gun in Teflon,
Wow.
and just
cool.
to see how that smooths out
Like
things.
inside and out? Or?
Yeah. Make
you
it
like
make it a little.
everything just black.
Yeah, it's all right, But it'd be cool to see what it does with just, even if you had the loading gate done in a Teflon,
Yeah.
like sliding that, you'd lose some of that friction, and it would kind of smooth the loading of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of cool to try a lever gun.
Do I wonder if preparing the surface for the Teflon on the loading gate would take that little knife edge that you get that sometimes it scratches your brass all up and everything. And I wonder if it would just be smoother, because I always seem to buff out that little knife edge that you get on the
and maybe it'd be good to buff it out first and then see. But I think that'd be cool to do a lever gun in Teflon.
It would be way cool.
Yeah, that black or dark black bluish color.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Mark, listener feedback.
Listener feedback. We've got a couple of them. Hey guys, this is Kenny from Kansas, by the way. Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, Kenny.
Kenny, did you send me a message on magolder.com? Because Kenny from Kansas is really familiar. So anyway, hey guys, I'm looking to get one of those air rifles you recently talked about.
Nice.
The one recommended for a decent starter and not a bank account breaker. He's looking at the Air Venturi Avenger. My question would concern caliber. There are 3 options, 17, 22, and 25. Which one and why would you recommend?
Okay. So
we all started with 22s.
Yeah, I want to hear your answer first, and then I'll give my answer.
I went with 22. I mean, I have one air gun right now. I don't have like 12 like Taco.
Not quite 12.
You're getting close.
Yeah, and these apparently don't count towards your net 5, do they?
They don't.
Because they're not firearms.
That's why he's buying so many.
So I've been thinking about that if I need to include those in the net 5 because they cost
on average.
On average, the ones that I've bought. Well, we had the little $200 Diana pistol, the Diana Bandit. So that was $200. That's pretty cheap for either if you're buying a gun or air gun. But the other ones, the Ed gun, Lacey, and the Wildcat, the FX Wildcat Mark III, those are both over $1,000. So it's kind of like a nicer
and your
gun.
Blitz.
We should ask.
Oh, I forgot about the Blitz.
Yeah,
the Blitz was like about $1,000 too. So
we should ask your wife if it counts.
I should ask her. She'd probably just throw her hands in the air and then, that's your thing. Whatever.
So back to the question. I went with 22 just because it's a well-rounded, there's a lot you can do with it.
Did you think that better downrange ballistics than 17? Or what?
Nope. I never really even considered the 17. I wanted something that hit a little bit harder than the 17. Okay. And actually, I think Justin over at Utah Air Guns, I think that's what he recommended also. He's like, for just plinking and doing whatever and small game and stuff like that, the 22's a good way to go.
So what about 25? 25 is more lead.
Yeah.
I don't know what muzzle energies and how all that works with air guns, but I imagine it's better terminal ballistics with 25 than 22?
Probably.
Yes. So
you get fewer shots per charge on your gun also, the heavier your pellet is.
And some of these are available in 30 and even all the way up 30 through 357, 458.
All the
There's
way
all
up
kinds
to
of
510,
Wow.
50.
And I even saw, as I was digging around, I even saw some air shotguns.
Boy. And there's an air bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like an air gun that shoots
Yep.
arrows.
Shoot arrows, yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right.
you have more experience with
my 2 cents on it.
I do.
The benefits of going with a 22, it's got quite a bit more punch than the 17.
Yeah.
Like, you're limited by velocity. Your velocity is going to be, 900 feet per second. And so then you just got the 17. I wanted to kill things dead and not have them run off, you know. And in the 17, I felt like it doesn't have enough mass to
the proper terminology is deader.
Deader.
Yes. So with the 22, I felt like you get the best balance of killing small things pretty well. And if you decide that the pellet isn't quite doing it, you can do the hollow point slugs to get a little bit more mass while still.
Is there anything you need to do? Can you just use them interchangeably?
It depends on the gun.
So the Mark III, the FX Mark III Wildcat, you can go back and forth between slugs and pellets.
What's
without
the
changing
difference
anything.
between a slug and a pellet?
A pellet is like a traditional pellet. It's got a skirt, a hollow base, and the slug looks like a bullet.
Yeah.
And some of the slugs have like a hollow base and a hollow point. The NOE mold Jason and I are waiting to get. It looks just like a bullet. It has a plain base, like just a flat base, and then it has a hollow point. And it looks pretty.
But it has a lot more mass.
Yeah.
It's a heavier.
Heavy for caliber.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I talked to a guy at Utah Air Guns, and he had a 22 cal and was talking about shooting coyotes, and he's killed coyotes with his 22 cal air gun.
Wow.
I was pretty shocked
With
too.
a slug?
With the slug.
Okay.
Yeah. So those slugs, you hit them in the right spot. The slugs carry a decent amount of energy.
Wow.
So I would say, maybe if you were going to do that, like if you're hunting like a little bit larger animals like coyotes and stuff,
Raccoons.
that's where raccoons. I would say a 25 cal would probably be something I'd rather do.
Yeah.
Rather use.
I think it really depends on what your purpose is for the gun. If it's going to be a plinker, stuff like that, the 22 is going to do everything you need it to do, and it'll get you into some of the small varmint hunting and stuff like that.
And the nice thing about 22 cals is that the magazines hold more.
Yeah.
And you get more shots per tank.
Right.
And you get more pellets per tin.
Well, and that would be the same with the 17s, obviously.
Yeah,
that's true.
Except there's a different power level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted more power than a 17 offered, and that's why I went with the 22.
The
but
22 kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah. But if you're looking at doing like raccoons or maybe skunks,
if you live out in the country or something, and it's like I want an air gun so I can take care of pests,
larger
varmints
pests
and stuff like that.
25
the
cal
25, maybe even a 30. I don't know.
Yeah, it just depends how you're using it. When you go up to 30, it seems like you get a lot less shots per tank.
Right.
And that the Hotson Blitz that I have, the full auto 30 cal, it does go through air pretty fast. And lead.
Well, that's because it's a full auto.
And when I buy those little tins of 30 cal pellets, then there's just not as many in the tin,
right.
And so I need to bust out my mold. I have a 30 cal pellet mold that I got a long time ago, and I was actually
before you even had a pellet gun.
Yeah, I was shooting them in my 300 blackout, just with a primed case.
Cool.
Which was
a chemically charged air gun.
Yeah, and it actually made it out of the barrel. I was testing that, but
that's amazing. So that
would be my 2 cents. I would go with the 22, but if you're looking for something a little bit more killing power, then 25.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer, Kenny from Kansas.
Hopefully he's talking to the Utah Air Guns about this stuff.
Yeah, good idea.
Because they ship all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a text actually from a kind of atypical person. Is a physician at a academic institution who's a closet gun guy.
Okay.
And he built a couple of years ago.
And why is he a closet gun guy?
Because it is an academic environment, and they tend to look down on that, and they're yeah.
Okay.
So he a couple of years ago built his first AR, and he built an AR pistol, and it's really slick. Actually, I wish you guys could see it, but here's the picture. What he ended up doing 5 months ago, he purchased a suppressor, and he got his suppressor today.
Wow.
5 months. So I don't know what's going on, but that is incredibly encouraging.
That's really fast.
And it was, you can tell the difference. It was not one of the ones where it wasn't like the Form 1 or Form 4 or whatever. It was like whatever you just go buy a suppressor from, silencer shop and have it shipped and it's ready to shoot. So it wasn't one of the ones that you modify yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 months is really encouraging because I've got one that's been baking for almost 5 months now.
Huh.
And I'm really excited.
Cool.
But the question that he had is on his AR pistol, mounting the suppressor is that going to change the performance of the gun? Is it, I mean, obviously sound, but does he need to do anything? Does he need to get an adjustable gas block to not beat the gun to death? Does it matter that it's a shorter pistol? What are the implications of
was
putting
it in 300 blackout?
No.
It's in
5.56.
5.56.
Everything's gonna be dirtier.
Yeah.
Right
All right,
off the bat.
so off the bat, he's gonna get blowback in his face a little bit.
Well, he said he has a vented charging handle. What the heck is that?
Okay, so that redirects the gas, I think.
Okay.
Huh.
So I didn't even know that was a thing. But so if you take a suppressor, you get your first suppressor, do you go and screw it on every gun you have and just shoot it? Or are there factors that you need to consider?
Okay, so a couple different things. It will change your point of impact.
Okay.
So anytime you put something on the end of the barrel, it changes harmonics and whatnot, so it will throw the point of impact off. Usually speaking, if you get some of the nicer, higher end, like suppressors, then it's less. It throws it off less. I shot this one, Hunter Town Arms, was it a 9mm suppressor on a carbine, and it really flung it to the side. It was...
Really?
Yeah, it was...
So it's not
bad.
a vertical stringing, it could be any direction.
Any direction.
Okay.
So you'll need to... What you need to decide is if you plan on shooting it all the time with it on, I would sight the gun in with the suppressor on, which is how a lot of my guns are. They're sighted in with a specific suppressor. And so it does change point of impact. There's this misconception with some people, I don't know if it comes from video games or from the old style suppressors that used to use wipes.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what wipe? So they used to have kind of like a rubber seal or something like that, and the bullet would actually touch that as it goes through.
Got it.
So maybe the first shot it pokes a hole through it, and then the next one just still goes.
And what was the purpose for it?
It makes it quiet.
Oh, okay.
So you have a suppressor that is exactly the size of the bullet after it.
Well, and some of them are flexible, and so the bullet would touch the wipe every time.
Huh.
And then, your wipe is only good
accuracy.
for... I don't know.
Okay.
But some people have this thought, and like I said, I don't know if it's from video games or from some of the older suppressors that were built that way. They still make some new ones like that, but they think that adding a suppressor slows the bullet down, as to your question about the performance. But it doesn't.
Okay.
If anything, it may add a negligible few feet per second.
Okay.
But so terminal ballistics, like that doesn't change. Like the bullet is still going about the same speed. But I had a guy comment on my video where I was shooting a .22 long rifle at a target at 500 yards, and he was kind of upset. He's like, "Why would you even throw a suppressor on that? You're already slow." And I was confused. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, it slows it down having a suppressor." I said, "No, it doesn't."
Yeah, I mean, in suppressors nowadays, the suppressor never has any interaction with the bullet other than the gas surrounding it.
Yeah, and so there are a few that use wipes, and so they're quiet, but you have to replace the wipe every once in a while, and
well,
but that's the majority of them now. Modern ones don't use wipes.
So adjustable gas blocks, are they for suppressors?
They do help with AR-15s with certain guns. Like, for example, if AR-10s, I would very much recommend an adjustable gas block, because most AR-10s are overgassed anyways, and you add a suppressor that adds more back pressure, then that BCG is... Sometimes you can speed it up so fast that you'll have feeding problems.
Okay.
Pick up the next round.
And if it were full auto, it would increase the cyclic rate.
Yeah.
But is it anything that a normal person with their first suppressor screwed onto their AR is going to even have to worry about? Or is it going to overgas it enough to break something?
I would say probably not to break it, but try it out and see if you have any like cycling issues,
And if it breaks, then just get another one.
Yeah.
But
and let us know.
One of the things is I don't know what barrel length did he say he has on his pistol.
I don't know. If I remember correctly, it's like 12 or 14 inches.
Okay, 12 or 14 is like not bad. It's when you, I mean, 5.56 is designed to burn in longer barrels. So a lot of suppressors will say we warranty our suppressors on
Oh, a certain
this
length
of
yeah.
barrel because
Right.
otherwise you have all this powder that's sandblasting the baffles of
Right.
it and causing premature wear.
Well, and the suppressor that I have says that they'll warrant it in 4570 with longer than a 16-inch barrel.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of, but that's for the suppressor. But it's not. Is it possible it'll beat his gun to death, or does he?
That's something to just watch out for. If it feels like it's really slamming the bolt carrier back, then, that's where you'd maybe add like an adjustable gas block would be an easy thing to do. And also sometimes people will use a heavier buffer to slow stuff down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, if you're going to be shooting it both ways, then just try it.
That is the compromise.
Yeah, because you don't want to have it work with your suppressor, and then when you need it without the suppressor, it won't cycle. So,
Okay.
Just things to look out for.
Cool. So, hey Doc, I'll send you the link to this answer like I promised.
All right. Okay.
Cool. Does that finish our listener feedback?
Yeah, there were a couple others, but I was on the mountain for most of the day today, so I didn't have enough time to go through a bunch.
Fair enough.
But
And I did nothing to prep, so I won't complain.
all right, let's move on to what we did with guns this week. Let's
All right.
start with Jason and go around.
Okay. So I got my Vortex, what was it, a Diamondback Tactical, I think.
Have you mounted it yet?
Yes, it's mounted, it's sighted in.
Did you mount it yourself, or did you just
Nope.
take it to
I
U-Tire?
took it to U-Tire Guns, they threw it on, and Justin even sighted it in for me.
Oh,
And
look
he-
at that service.
I know,
Such a good
it was
service.
awesome. And I'm sitting at his range, and it's about, I think, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Their air gun range upstairs. And the first target I went after was one of those know your limits targets. So little steel lollipops that get smaller and smaller and
Yeah.
smaller.
Till they're like smaller than
It
an
was-
eraser or
it was-
something.
It was. I couldn't tell how big it was. I was thinking it was half an inch. It might have been smaller than that.
No, it's smaller.
And it was partially obscured by a target in front of it. And I thought, well, I'm going to go for that one anyway. First shot, didn't just hit it. It spun it hard. And I was
Nice.
like, holy crap. So I was very pleased with that.
Which pellet did he sight it in with?
Just the
little round
Diablos.
ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still haven't tried the Hades.
Those little Hades
points,
pellets are
yeah.
killers.
I know. So I did that. I have a neighbor across the street. Her mother came over and, hey, I'm thinking I need an AR-15. What do you think? I said,
You're like, heck yeah!
this is a woman who recently became a great grandmother.
Oh,
Cool.
I think she started young. But anyway, neat lady. She's like, yeah, I'm just getting kind of worried about things. And I said, well, so is everybody else. Stuff's kind of hard to get, but she's like, can you build me one? I built one for her grandson that lives across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I helped him get the stuff and we built it together. But so I said, yeah. And she said, well, what do I need to get? I said, well, you're going to buy the lower. And you're going to get the background checks, all that. Once you have that, bring it to me, and then we'll start putting something together for you. And I'm going to go right now. Calls me from a shop. I won't mention the shop because she got some bad information.
Oh.
But she's like, well, they don't have any stripped lowers, but they have this one here that's $1,500.
What?
No.
Yeah. And I said, well, send me a picture of it. And it was like a plain Jane A2 front sight with what are those?
Cheese
quad
grater ones?
rail.
Yeah, the quad.
Had a quad rail on it. And I just said, I think we can do better.
Yeah, please turn around and walk.
But
over
I said,
immediately.
if you want, that's available. And they are getting hard to get. So if that's what you want, if you want the
you
sure
don't
thing,
want-
then get it.
You don't want to let the great grandmother across the street spend $1,500 on an AR.
That should have been $500.
Yeah, 500,
Right.
600.
Yeah, and they were trying to. I says, we we need to build you one that's got a free float handguard. Well, they told me this one was free floating. I said, it's not. And so, anyway, she says, well, they've got these built lower. And I said, well, how much are those and what kind is it? She says, it's Aero Precision.
Cool.
Fully built out lower, $210.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Buy that.
I said, get it. She's like, really? Are you sure? I said, just get it and bring it over, and we'll go off of that. And it's decent. Trigger feels nice. It's not exceptional, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Just the cheapo grip and stock, but we can fix that. So anyway, she got that, and then she asked me, she's like, maybe I'll take it somewhere and get it painted.
Oh, boy.
And I went, I have just the person for you. And I sent her Lee's link to his Instagram. I said, take a look at what he's doing. Let me know what you think. I said, this guy will take care of us. And,
Did you tell her to use slickery?
well,
She's got to get it built first.
yeah, I'm going to build the upper for her, and then we'll get some Teflon and maybe some hydro dipping or whatever. But the other thing was she was asking them, she's got a SIG 2340, SIG Pro.
Okay.
In 40. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, it's okay. It's the gun you have. There's
You
nothing
can
wrong
get
with
ammo
it.
for it.
Right. And then she had a Colt Mustang 380.
Sweet.
Yeah, cool
Like
little gun.
vintage cool one?
No, I think she bought it in the 90s.
So I can't talk her out of it?
Not after I told her about it.
Oh.
But I said, this gun, I said, there's nothing wrong with that SIG. It's a fine gun. It's not one of their best, but it gets the job done. Nothing to worry about there. That Colt is really cool.
Yeah.
Don't
She's
ever
like,
sell it.
Yeah, she's like, well, I don't have any magazines. Long story there, but she's like, yeah, I asked the guy at the store, and he said, nope, you can't get magazines for those.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
like,
crap.
who are you talking to?
Yeah.
And so after she left, I said, well, I'll find magazines for you.
Yep.
First search I did, in stock, ready to go.
Yep.
I'm like, I just sent her the link. I said, get at least 2 of these. Okay, thanks.
You can even go to some place like Joe's Magmania. Yeah, joesmagmania.com. It's a cool site.
Nice.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Next time I need mags.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I did, helping out a friend and who's concerned about the way things are going in the world, like the rest of us are.
Well, on the political side, I hope that if great grandmothers are buying ARs, I hope that things swing our way in the fall election.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
But every time someone buys an AR, then when they start talking gun control, you can say, hey, they're talking about your gun that
Right.
you bought.
they want to take
defend
away your gun.
Yeah, it's your gun.
Right.
And then it's all of a sudden, instead of being a passive thing that they're like, oh, well, I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Then maybe they choose to do something after that.
Yep.
So,
Well, and she said something that was very profound also. And this is like when we talk about prepping and everything you do to prep should improve your life even if nothing bad ever happens, right?
Okay, I
And-
agree with that.
And she's like, think I should get an AR-15? I'm like, yeah, they're great. She's like, because they're really fun to shoot. Even if I never have to use it for anything, they're just fun to shoot, right? I said, yeah. She's like, okay, I'm going to go get one then.
That's terrific.
So, anyway.
We need to keep a record of, we need to have like a monthly update on the great grandma's
Okay.
gun journey.
I'll
Yeah.
let you know. Yeah.
Mark.
So, yeah, I took my SIG 365 into the emergency room up in Idaho. That's all I did with guns this week.
Did it enjoy its trip?
I think so.
Okay.
all right. So I have a new video out. It is the 7-cent taco challenge.
Yep.
And I would encourage the listeners
Build the
to
ultimate taco for 7 cents or less.
yeah, and win a prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend people go check out the video. Just look up on YouTube, Full.Lead.Taco.
Subscribe.
Subscribe if
You'll
you can.
be like the 7,250th or something.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, the challenge is that you have to take 7 pennies and you have to shoot at them 7 times. And I know
With a gun.
with a gun, it could be a air gun or a powder burner,
Powder
like
burner.
you could use a muzzle loader if you wanted to.
So, it would take you a while.
It would take a while.
Except Jeff from California, we could do it faster than all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We should tell him he needs to do it with a musket.
yeah, that'd be great.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, watch the video. There's some rules to how to enter and
And
stuff.
there's some pretty cool prizes you've put up. Couple
yes.
scopes.
Yeah. So the same scope that I mounted on my air gun, it's the Athlon Argos BTR2,
Uh-huh.
the BTR Gen 2. That one it's a really nice scope for the dollar. And that if someone is looking to do something like get into long range shooting, it's a good price point scope. I think they go for about $400 on Amazon.
Or buying their first air gun, Kenny in Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another scope and another red dot and an NOE package of
A
mold of their choice,
handles,
and the mallet.
Nice.
So all 4 prizes are pretty dang nice.
Somebody already stole my idea, though.
Well, we don't want to have an editorial bent leading into it. We want people to.
If you shoot it with a cannon, you still have to shoot 7 times. So.
Yep.
Nice. Cool.
But yeah, and then the other thing I did, I got a text from Justin at Utah Air Guns,
Oh.
and he was asking if NOE sells 50 cal slugs, and I told him that they don't sell slugs.
I thought he was starting to sell.
They have some bullets,
Okay.
but 50 cal is not like
Okay, so that he is
a mainstream.
he is
thing
selling bullets, just not the 50 cal.
Yeah, he has 9 mil and 357
Okay.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I asked him, I was like, well, what are you looking for? What do you need? And he's like, I just need a slug, and it can't be like a copper
be
bullet.
jacketed.
Yeah, jacketed
Right.
bullet.
Why not?
So that answers the question that we had a few episodes back where we were debating whether you could shoot a jacketed slug out of an air gun and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just don't know if the copper is too hard and it'll damage the barrel, or
It
if it'll
could.
just, or if it will get stuck because lead goes through a barrel a lot easier than a
Right.
copper jacketed bullet.
Right.
Or
Copper plated is okay, right?
I
know.
don't think so, but I don't know for air guns. I don't
Stick
know
with the lead.
if you get the copper fouling in it too. If that
could be a problem.
that could be a problem. So,
Anyways,
anyways,
back to Justin.
So I told him, I said, hey, I took the day off since I'm going to be working on the weekend, and I can hurry in air quotes.
I
right?
just
'Cause you can't
happen to
hurry.
have a 50 caliber.
I said I have
gun slug
like
mold.
5 or 6 50 cal, like the 510, not the 501s, or like
Right.
not the Smith and Wesson, 50 cal,
Right.
but like a 510, like what you'd shoot in a 50 Alaskan or like a 50 BMG, that size of bullet. And I told him, I said, I have the lightest bullet I have is like just under 400 grains, and then I have them all the way up to like 880 or 890 grains. If I cast it
Ounce
pure,
and a
it'd probably
half.
be like 900 grains on
Huh.
pure lead. And he's like, well, I think it could shoot anything. I said, well, I don't know. The 900 grain ones, those might not stabilize very good going.
Yeah, they're about 8.5
Yeah,
long.
yeah. And so I ended up doing some emergency casting. I had to drain my casting pot, so I had to heat it up to melt the lead that was in it because
Too
it
hard.
was a harder alloy with tin and antimony, like some printing press lead added to it for making like bullets for real guns. And so I used for that alloy for him, I used 3 parts stained glass window scrap because it doesn't have antimony, but it has some tin in it, which helps with the fill out when you're casting. And then 1 part pure lead. And so I'm passing around some slugs.
And
These ones, it was funny because I had cast these and I thought they would I thought they'd be the best one to use. And I had another one that's heavier, and it has this amazingly deep hollow point for the 50 Alaskan. And I mean, just
so
destructive.
did you shoot these at their range?
I did.
So downstairs at the real range.
No.
You shot them upstairs?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
Was there anybody parked behind the building?
But anyways, so I cast these with that soft alloy, and instead of water dropping, I just dropped them, air cooled them, and that retains the softness. If you water drop them, then
Right.
it hardens them up,
Right.
quenches them. And this one has a hollow base, and it's actually made for like, I think it's some kind of black powder gun.
Now, what was the emergency? Why did he need these so
Okay.
desperately?
So he had a customer who he was taking a gun to try out,
Right.
and
You don't want to mention.
I'm not going to
customer?
mention his name because he's kind of famous and stuff. So
Ah.
yeah, he's in the music industry
Oh,
or something.
gotcha.
So yeah,
Mark knows who he is.
yeah, just for his privacy and
Yeah.
stuff. But I cast up these two different.
I've been trying to get this guy a mag holder for a long time.
Well, he's got two of my holsters.
Ooh,
In fact,
That's
didn't
cool.
you deliver one?
I did.
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, we hurried and tried to. Well, Justin asked, he's like, "Hey, you want to see it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to see that gun."
No.
And he pulls out this it's made by Air Force.
Yeah.
And it's this big 50 cal.
Is it
It's
The
like
Texan?
the Texan, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's like
think so.
4 foot long barrel.
Yeah, the barrel's long, but it has this, kind of like a
Scuba tank screwed
well,
to
a
it.
suppressor on it.
It's
and
a
so
moderator.
yeah, like it's kind of like an integrally suppressed. So
Okay.
it has this big old fat pipe, around the barrel going, I don't know how many feet, but it was big, and
How was it to shoot?
I'll try and upload a little video of me shooting it. It actually had recoil, which is weird, for an air gun to have
Right.
recoil. But if you're pushing like a 400 grain bullet at around 800 plus feet per second,
Yeah.
That's
It's-
a lot of energy.
it's energy, yeah.
That's like,
Nice and quiet though.
that's seriously
it
like,
was not like quiet, but
Right.
it didn't hurt your ears.
Right.
off the top of my head, I'm saying like 600 foot-pounds. I mean, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that, but
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
I forget what it was. They had one of the guys calculated it out and
Okay.
stuff. But we shot the two bullets, and it was
Which one did better? Do you think?
well. The first shot with the hollow point, he just shot a target that was already there, and then we put the lighter weight hollow base bullets in, and Justin shot one, and then I shot one. I wanted to make sure that he shot first because
Yeah.
in case
Some bad.
yeah, something bad happens. It's his gun. And so he shot, and then I shot the second one, and it was like touching bullet holes,
Wow.
which is kind of cool.
It's stabilized. And
Yeah, it's stabilized, and so I really am curious to see if that hollow base, if the 50 cal with the air pressure it had, if it had enough pressure to expand the hollow base to engage the rifling and seal the gases, or if it used one of the driving bands to seal the gases. So I really want to shoot something with it. I think you only get a few shots per tank
Yeah.
or per fill. It just has one of
Imagine.
those, like, I think it's a carbon fiber tank on
Right.
the back, and that is
It's
the
the
stock
stock,
too. It has a
yeah.
little butt plate
That's
on
kind
that
of
tank.
Air Force's,
Thing.
Yeah. That's
It's a good thing I did not have like $1,000 on me at the time because
You'd have taken a Texan home.
I might have, and so
That would have.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
That
it,
would.
it's really tempting because it's a nice kind of like slow push on
Yeah.
your shoulder, not like it's not violent at
Yeah.
all. And he said that it was actually more like less violent, I should say, than say the 45 cal air guns he shot. So the 50 was
Interesting.
pleasant to shoot. But the other one we shot, the heavier bullet with a deeper hollow point, man, I want to shoot that into gel or something
See what it
just to
does?
see what it does.
That would be cool.
So Justin was saying he needs to get some watermelons or something, but I want to catch it.
Watermelons, everything destroys
I know.
watermelons.
I want to catch it in something so we can actually look at the bullet, see if it pedaled
how it
off
performs.
or if it like mushroomed out or
Or
what it.
fragments or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I wonder if something like corn cob or some media or something like that would be a good way to catch something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see the fluid expand, like what it does
So
when it
shoot
hits
it in
fluid.
water?
Yeah, shoot it in water
Okay.
or gel, something like that.
Cool.
But yeah,
That's pretty
because if you shot it into the dirt, then it would expand differently than if you shot it
Right.
into water, more
Yeah.
than likely. But I also picked up a couple new molds from NOE. He just came out with a 115 grain bullet mold with a bevel base and grooveless.
For 9mm?
For a 9mm.
Okay.
And I think that was to... People get caught up with the numbers, right? They see 115 grain at, 115, 124, and 147.
Right.
And so they think that if it's not that, then they kind of freak out.
Then
it's kind of like the newer reloaders will do that, but even some experienced reloaders are like, well, I shoot 124 grain. That's what I do. I shoot 124. It's like, well, you can shoot a 133. It's not that much different. Well, I shoot 124. And, it's hard to get it into some people's heads that it's okay to have a little bit, like an odd number that's not. You just, adjust your powder charge.
Well, and there's a lot of guys that are reloading and stuff like that shoot IDPA and stuff like that with it. So
they need to know the power factor,
right?
But you can all you got to do is plug 133 grain into the.
No, I get it, but
into the equation.
But they're comfortable with what they've got because it's got the proven performance for what they're doing, and they don't want to mess with it.
Yeah. Anyways.
But I see where you're coming from.
Do we have time for a topic still?
I don't know.
Jason, hit some sponsors real fast.
Well, we've already talked about Utah air guns. Go check out Utah air guns.
Do that.
Lots of cool stuff. I noticed on Instagram they posted a picture of Justin and his son with a big old elk that his son took with I think it was a Humorex air gun. Believe it or not.
Do you know what caliber it was?
I think it was a 50.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't know for sure. But cool picture, good looking buck.
Wow.
Pretty neat. Yeah.
Is there a different season for air guns?
That's what I need to ask him. I don't know if they're playing by different rules or if it's just allowed in like muzzleloader season or something like that. I don't know.
Because I think archery just opens first.
Yeah, and then the muzzleloader, and then the regular rifle will happen after that. But anyway, we talk a lot about Utah air guns for good reason. It's a good company, good product. Go check them out.
Their service is really good, though. They treat their customers right, and if you have any problems, they are willing to help you out.
They make it right. Mag Holder, what's happening over at Mag Holder, Mark?
We are shipping a boatload of SIG 365. People are not really saying which model it's for, whether it's for the 365.
Because it fits so many now.
It does, and I've had probably shipped a dozen for the Springfield Hellcat.
Okay.
So far we're really happy. We're just plugging away, and
those are probably the two hot gun models right now, other than anything else you can actually get your hands on.
Yes, exactly. The coupon code finally is a good one, as is it's the same discount for getting the Van Eye of Candy, but it's a lot shorter.
Nice.
Concealment Solutions, been super busy, a little bit slower at getting some things out than I normally am. I'm usually 5 to 7 business days. Stuff ships. I've gotten a little bit off of that this last week, but not too bad. So if you're still looking for something that you need in a relatively short amount of time, I can still take care of you. And I have a discount code, a new one.
What is it?
It's called Blonde Wig. Sorry.
Carl is the one who wears the blonde wig in the sleeper cab with Stan. This is just for Concealed Taco Dudes listeners.
Okay.
I almost forgot what our show was again. Show me the candy.
Show me the candy.
Show me the candy is going to give you... This isn't going to be a long-term discount code. I'm not going to tell you how much it's going to save you, but it's going to be more than the 15% that it was the regular Concealed Taco Dudes was.
Wow.
And if you use that code, I'm going to include a Paco the Taco Dude bumper sticker.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Which I keep forgetting to bring one to stick on our mini fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really, really like that discount code.
Show me the candy will get you extra savings at least through September.
It's better
maybe a little bit longer.
I think that was good to make it shorter than show me the candy first. I'm not stupid.
That was from one of the. There's a listener feedback.
You still need to make T-shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. Show me the candy first, then I'll get in the van. I'm not stupid.
All right, real quick, we have a self-defense in the news article.
Wow.
So I will try and read this pretty quick. We're running out of time. But a home invasion suspect is in critical condition after being shot by a Flower Mound homeowner on Sunday afternoon.
Where's Flower Mound? Is that Texas?
I think
Or
so.
it's some, I don't remember.
But Flower Mound police responded to a shooting call at approximately 2:22 p.m. Sunday in the block of blah, blah, blah. During the
How are we going to go visit if you don't give us
How are
the
we going to
address?
stop by and
We
say
need
hi?
to get Google images and post them of all of these.
During the 911 call, the homeowner stated he had shot at an unknown male and female who had allegedly broken into his house through the back door. After the gunshot, both individuals fled the location in a vehicle. Upon arrival, police were able to locate the vehicle a short distance away, where it was determined the male suspect had been shot one time in the chest.
Whoa.
That's some accuracy there.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah,
good
one
shot.
shot and right in the chest.
When the balloon went up, that person delivered.
Yeah. Good job. The 29-year-old male suspect was transported to Medical Center Denton, where he was immediately taken into surgery. He has since been moved into ICU and is in critical condition. The 30-year-old female suspect was taken to the police department for questioning and was later placed in custody for an unrelated parole violation warrant.
But not placed in custody for home invasion?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
What's
weird.
up with that?
I wonder if it has anything to do with like the rioting.
It is in Texas.
Okay.
Huh.
So Flower Mound is in Texas. At the scene, Flower Mound detectives were able to determine the male had forced entry and confronted the homeowner. The homeowner told the suspect to leave several times and warned him without success. Okay, that is just stupid. The guy breaking in gets warned several times. No, I'm coming in.
I'm coming in whether you like it or
I'm
not.
taking your stuff.
Yeah.
Like what is he thinking? What's going through his mind? Like
Who knows?
the homeowner is home and he's telling him, "Hey, get out, or I'm gonna pop your head off, or whatever."
Whatever.
Because I'm sure that he's.
But
I don't know,
we
man.
hear that all the time in these stories. Where the homeowner tells him, "Get out, I've got a gun, I'm gonna shoot you."
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Show, prove it.
Prove it. Show me.
Yeah.
What kind is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. They either are really stupid or on drugs and stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to be stupid to be in that line of work, so.
Yeah, anyways, police said the homeowner felt threatened, of course,
Yeah, really?
as the suspect kept moving toward him, which is when he fired one shot at the suspect and got him right in the chest. So
One
he was like,
shot.
man, I'm
Nice.
surprised he didn't shoot multiple times. I would have shot multiple times.
I probably would have too.
Like, especially if you're like, stop, don't come in, don't come in, don't come in. And the
Yeah.
guy moves towards him. That's when you go pop, 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 pop.
Yep.
You can shoot really fast.
But you know how hard it is to get ammo these days. Guy probably didn't want to waste it.
That's true.
True.
He was being frugal.
Yes.
I wonder what caliber he used.
Critical
But it is
condition
probably.
after
I'm guessing it's 9mm because
Probably.
he's like, I'm only wasting one of these on you.
Yeah. You're only worth one.
357, 358, whatever.
Yeah. Huh.
So it says
Well-
police are questioning the female suspect, but as of Sunday night, have not determined a motive.
What do you mean
What?
a motive? We want their stuff.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's weird. Breaking and then I don't know.
Burglary isn't
cares
a motive
what-
anymore?
Right.
Yeah, and it says no charges are expected to be filed on the homeowner as a result of the incident. Police said.
Good.
So that's
Because Texas.
because Texas. Yeah. So.
Nice.
All right, now we have a few minutes for our topic,
Okay.
and we're gonna do this
What
fast.
was that again?
The topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so the topic today
Oh, yeah, I remember.
is if you had to choose 3 guns that you had to sell today.
3 guns.
You had to sell today, and then 3 guns that you
Would never
would
sell.
never sell that you would make sure you kept. So let's go with the 3 that you would sell first, and then we'll talk about the 3 that we'd keep. So,
Okay.
do you want to go first, Jason?
Sure. I would be not unhappy to part with my Kel-Tec PF9, which for some odd reason just sticks around.
Yeah.
It must be sentimental. I've had it for a very long time. It also
Is there any reason that it is sentimental? Like, was it your first gun ever,
no,
or like?
It wasn't. It has a really nice trigger for a Kel-Tec, and that I think is part of why I keep it, because you'll never get one that good of a trigger again. I've had people offer me money for it because they felt the trigger. What? Mine doesn't. Wow. How much you want for this? No, not gonna sell it. I would sell that. I would sell the Canic that I just bought because I don't care.
Because you
about
haven't
it.
shot it yet.
I haven't shot it yet, and it doesn't fill a void that I currently have, and it does nothing to excite me.
This might excite you a little bit. You should take that magazine and put it in your SIG 365 mag holder.
Oh, if it fits that, then I'm keeping it.
Yep, it does. The Canic TP9 fits the SIG mag holder.
Nice.
But it doesn't fit the gun. Just the
And then I have a Heritage Arms single action 22 revolver that is an NRA engraved edition that I would part with. I love 22s. I don't love that one. And it was free.
Cool.
All right, Mark.
I think I may be willing to part with the Ruger single action in 45 Colt. I shot it several times.
The one you just got?
The one that I just...
That you got in trouble for buying?
Yes. And the reason being is that I've been having... This is a Wiley Clapp special edition. It's got strange sights and so forth. I'm having a really hard time finding leather for it. I want to carry it in a leather holster.
I know exactly who you should talk to, and
Okay.
it's not me.
Okay, well, maybe that's something to consider, but...
You've seen my cowboy rig for
Yes,
my
I have.
Liberty?
Yep.
That's who you need to talk
Okay.
to.
Well, I expected to fall in love with this thing,
Yeah,
and
it
I
just
haven't
hasn't.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so disappointing. I've done that many times.
Me too. I bought guns where I think I'm
This
gonna
is the
totally
perfect-
love this gun.
Yeah.
And then whether it's the trigger isn't the greatest, or like I had that Walther that I really liked it.
Yeah.
I just didn't shoot well with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could pick up almost any 9mm handgun and shoot
Right.
decent with it.
Mhm.
This one, I didn't. I couldn't. And I
I
could
was
not
like that
understand
with
because
one, too.
the trigger was so good, the sights looked good,
Was it a
everything.
Was it a PPQ M2?
I can't remember.
So-
it was a
I-
fancy one with the milled out
Yeah.
top.
It
and-
was a PPQ.
But
I don't remember if it was an M2 or not.
yeah,
Okay.
so I ended up selling it. The only reason why was because I didn't shoot it well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that.
I wanted to love it,
Yeah.
Right.
but I just
Well, that's the same with this single action. And maybe, maybe I need to check my man card, but maybe I'm just not good at single action large bore revolvers.
Well, I know I'm not, but I still have one.
Yeah. Well, I need to shoot more. Now we have a
single action is usually like easier to shoot though.
Shoot, yeah,
the
it
grips are
shoots
usually
well.
different,
Right.
Because they got that weird like kind of
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
There's
Single action
several
is-
different types of those. even,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. One more. What else would you sell?
I
Or
would.
did you only give us one?
You only gave us one.
I also have a 22 single action, just like yours, except mine doesn't say NRA on it.
Is it a Heritage Arms?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I might get rid of that. I also have a Franke 12 gauge auto-loading shotgun that I enjoy shooting, but it just doesn't inspire any passion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I could get rid of it and I could replace it and it wouldn't be a big deal.
It's kind of like a Glock 19.
Kind
You
of.
could sell it and
Right.
then get another Glock 19, and,
And
it's,
it would
it's
be exactly
it's
the
the
same.
same. It's
Yep.
kind of a
Yeah.
tool, whatever.
Yep.
But I do have to give Franke credit for offering a good value for the price
Yeah.
point. They're part of the Benelli group, I think. And,
Yeah.
it's a nice gun, but I just don't love it.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay, so me as of tonight,
Yeah.
my choice is how I'm feeling at this moment. I would say, of course, this is kind of a weird one because I just bought the gun. It's the CZ 457 and 22.
The bolt action 22?
Bolt action, yeah, really nice at one.
Have you even shot it yet?
No, I haven't. I don't have a scope on it yet. But that's maybe why I would be willing to sell. It'd be one of the first to go because
If
I
you
don't have
weren't
any
giving
turn
away
time.
all your scopes, you could actually put one on
I know.
it.
Yeah.
I could have put one of that that nice one, the Athlon scope.
Right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's fun to give away stuff on the channel too.
Yeah.
So that would be one of them I'd pick, and then a 22 AR-15. Just I don't
Yeah.
shoot 22s like
Much
hardly
at
at
all.
all. You know, maybe if I was going on a 22 hunt where we're kind of like the air gun.
But I was gonna say, but just bring your air gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
And then the Walther, you already did sell it?
Oh yeah, I already
Oh,
sold
okay.
that. That was one I sold.
Can't sell
it
twice.
just wasn't.
That's not
we were talking
true.
about guns that you wanted to love or you thought you'd fall in love with, and that Walther was one of those. I really wanted to love it, and I just couldn't shoot it very well.
I've sold a gun twice.
Have you?
Yes. I bought it twice. The exact same one.
Right. Yeah, the exact same one.
Yeah.
Same serial number.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the third gun, it's kind of surprising, maybe not if you know me and my gun habits, but an AR-10. I love to buy them and build them, and then I hardly shoot them because I like bolt guns better.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to shoot like a 308 semi-auto, it'll probably be out of one of my military surplus guns like the FAL, the FAL,
Mhm.
whatever, or I have an AK chambered in 308.
They do that?
Well, it's a Vepper.
Okay,
And it was
got it.
kind of a special deal. I've talked about it before, but it has a square cut back. So the receiver is square cut, so you can put AK furniture on it instead of the slanted back receiver where you have to use, the Vepper special. You either have to get a block to put in to make it square, or you have to get the Vepper stuff. But for a short
Can't
amount of
just use
time,
Bondo?
I mean, maybe.
JB Weld's way.
Yeah. Jason would probably try and use some Kydex and
Yeah.
But so I usually, if I'm shooting a semi-auto 308, then I'm going to be shooting one of the military guns just because it's, I don't know,
Because you enjoy it.
because I enjoy
It's
it.
more
Yeah.
fun. It's nostalgia.
Yeah, I guess the nostalgia a little bit.
Sure.
But AR-10s, I love them, and at the same time, they're meh.
Yeah.
Like they're just okay or whatever. I don't know. I got like this little, I don't know, 10.5-inch barrel. No, it was like shorter. 9-inch AR-10 308.
What?
Something like that. 10, maybe it's 10. But 10-inch barrel 308
Why?
pistol. That one's actually fun to shoot. Just to do it. I get an idea late at night and then I build it and then
Okay.
so I have
Not normal.
yeah, but I do have one that I just need a gas tube for, and put it together. But it's the 22 Creedmoor AR-10, and I'm actually curious about that. But now that I have my 22 Creedmoor Savage,
Bolt gun.
I don't know how much I'm going to use the AR-10. I don't know. Maybe that'll be like a future giveaway.
Yeah.
Like
There you go.
22 Creedmoor AR-10 with like a fancy barrel. It's a Excalibur
the Taco
custom
10
barrel.
10-cent challenge.
Yeah, something like that. But so those would be the three I would sell today if I had to.
Okay.
Got it.
So, all right, Jason, what are 3 guns?
3 guns that I would never
Not
sell.
Yeah.
Well, originally I was going to pick at least one of my 365s, but again, they're just kind of not. I love them, and I don't want to get rid of them, but at the same time,
They're not unique.
yeah, I could get another one and it would be exactly the same thing. So that one's off the list. But my AR-15, I would probably hang on to just because it's unique. It was one of my first builds, and I really am happy with it.
You're invested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emotionally, and it wasn't cheap. But-
Okay.
So that, yeah, probably my my Uberti single action Colt. That's just kind of sentimental. I like it. I've got a super awesome holster with it that's got my logo
Oh, that's
hand
cool.
carved
Oh, neat.
into it. And it's got rattlesnake skin on it.
Wow.
So yeah, that I don't think is gonna go anywhere. Gosh, what else? I don't really get that attached to stuff. This is
What about
gonna
one of your
seem-
1022s? I know you like 1022s.
I do I have 3 or 4 1022s, and I like them all, but they're all replaceable,
Yeah.
I mean, I've modded out a couple of them.
Okay, what about your gun you just barely got fancy coated from Black Ice?
Oh, yeah.
Because that one...
The AR-45?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, that probably...
Because now it's special because of the special coating
right.
job.
It's, yeah, we'll make that my third one.
All right.
I was going to include my SKS. It's the only gun that I've ever named.
Huh. What's its name?
Sonia.
Nice.
All right.
But, yeah.
So first and foremost, Carl here. If Carl were here, he would know this. But I've got a custom built Dan Wilson.
Yeah, I knew you.
Yeah, 10 millimeter commander length bobtail.
It's unique. It's a
10.
one.
It's a one-off.
A one-off.
Yes, and it even has a unique serial number, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. It does.
That's pretty awesome.
That is.
So
I don't have anything like that in my safe.
but I carry it to barbecues, and that's it.
That's all you
and
need
shoot
to
it
do with it.
Yeah, but I like it. I think it's a viable defensive pistol for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it runs great.
Is it hard to do, like, say, concealed carry and that kind of stuff because of how special it is? Like, do you feel bad about, like, getting scratches on it and that kind of thing? Or is it...
It's not a safe queen, but it's kind of a safe princess. It's kind of in between.
It's the hot rod that you take out on the weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
It sleeps on a velvet pillow during the week.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Also, I would not sell willingly my my Ruger SP 101.
Oh.
That has been black iced recently.
Yes.
I really like that. It's cool, and it's very unique.
It was very unique before.
Yeah.
Because you polished the thing.
Polish the crap out of it. Then I send
Yes.
it to Lee, who hits it with 60 grit to prep it for the
crazy.
Teflon.
That's
But
crazy.
beyond that, I could not part with my, at least not until my suppressor shows up. I could not part with my 4570.
That gun
Marlin
is great. You brought it that one time and we shot it, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
And that scope you have on it fits it. Do you still have the same scope on it?
Actually, I've got a red dot.
Oh, okay. I liked it when it had that. Was it a Strike Eagle?
I don't remember what it was.
It was like a low power scope that just seemed like it fit.
Yeah, it
well,
was like
or
a
whatever.
1-6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a 1-6 Strike Eagle. But anyways.
So those are my three.
Okay. So my three, you probably could guess the...
The pork sword.
No, actually.
Oh.
The 500 mag revolver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that one,
Taco's signature gun.
Yeah, I just like it too much. I shoot it a lot too. It's surprising how many pounds of lead I put downrange with that thing.
Well, and the fact that you've worn it out and had it rebuilt is testament to that.
If it was a pickup truck, it'd probably have about 350,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Or more.
Or more.
If not.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah. 4 or 5.
Yeah. So that'd be one just for the fact that it's kind of special because I have worn it out and had it rebuilt. And so that particular one, I think even if it got to the point where I needed another one, I would still keep that one. The one that was the original.
Cool.
The original to me.
Right.
And the second one, this is just a super fun gun that it's my 16-inch barreled Rossi 45.
Interesting.
45 Colt. Yeah, that one I've got a lot. It's funny, I have thousands of rounds through that also.
Mm-hmm.
Just dueling tree duels and just tons of fun. My wife has an identical one but blued. Mine's stainless, and I set hers up same as mine, so that it's perfect when you have two identical ones that for lever gun duels.
Yeah,
dueling tree, because it's like, which one do you want? Although mine is smoother because I've put
you
more rounds through it, and
What do they look like when they wear out? What do you wear out
on the 92s?
On a 92.
I don't know.
Wear out?
I haven't worn it out yet, so
Cool.
yeah. I mean, thousands of rounds through it, and it still works good. So
Nice.
now the pork sword is number 3.
No, so the third is
Wow.
is actually it's kind of a.
Lee's getting the love from me and Mark.
Oh, I know.
We would
It's-
never get rid of our guns that Lee has.
It's
Mastered
just
for us.
and maybe I should have Lee do this one, but this one I originally bought as a cheapy gun to test loads through, so I would not mess up my AR-15s that cost a lot more
Right.
money. And then I ended up just experimenting with this gun with different loads. It's a CVA break action.
Oh, the single shot
the Scout.
300.
Yeah, I think I have more rounds through that than a lot of my semi-autos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like thousands of rounds through that for sure. And it's one of the guns where you can take a group out shooting and you can start them out on that, like the suppressed bunny fart loads, and they will just. I mean, people who are there for the first time shooting a gun, they're really on edge, thinking it's scary, it's gonna jump up and bite them.
Gonna hurt them, yeah.
But it's just like a sound and then ting
Neat.
on the steel, and so it's one you can start with, and I usually end up finishing with it. It's like we're packing up the guns. I'm like, I just gotta put a couple more rounds through with
Right.
this gun, and we'll end up. My friend. I think this is the number one gun that my friends have shot, and they end up buying one. Of
Oh.
all the different guns, the lever actions, the revolvers, the semi-autos,
And
everything.
they're still widely available in a lot of
I think-
different calibers and stuff.
Yeah, I like the 1 in 300 blackout just for the cool loads I can do with the casting and loading. But yeah, I think I have at least 10 friends who have bought one since shooting mine. And that's kind of a lot of people to buy the exact same type of
Yeah,
gun.
It is.
So maybe even more than 10. But
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
they should be a sponsor.
CVA. But anyways, so those are weird choices if you knew like all the guns I
So-
have in my collection.
I
Yeah.
imagine our listeners have a lot of reasons for the same questions, but I wonder, I'm curious to see if there's something that's really meaningful that you would, you'd rather, give away one of your kids than this firearm. Maybe
Wow.
it's a family
Give you-
heirloom or.
Give me any one of my kids. Just for asking.
Yeah, so give us some feedback on maybe one of your guns. Maybe there's a story behind it, like why it is so valuable to you,
Yeah.
and we want to know. So send us an email.
Please let us know.
concealedtacodudes@gmail.com. And I think that wraps everything up.
Yeah.
So
I think it does too.
be nice, be kind,
Take your great grandmother shooting.
build her an AR-15.
See y'all next week.
One guy posted this video like 20 minutes after
There it is.
he takes a shotgun, he's just like 7 yards away and boom, blows all the pennies off, and then he's
That's
like,
what I
well,
was gonna do.
and he's like, well, the challenge rules say you have to shoot 7 times, so boom, boom, boom. Shoot 6. He lives in the mountains, so he just
That was
Shot at it
That
in
was
there.
exactly what I was gonna do.
nah, man, you should try it. See how far you can
I
shoot
have
some
an
pennies.
idea for us.
Okay.